Welcome to Northwestern Medical Center. My name is Alisha Sawyer and I'm the physician recruiter here, and I would love to give you a walk around our facility. Because we're able to stay 6 feet apart and maintain social distancing, I'm going to take off our mask for our walk today. So this area here is our central registration area. So this is where our patients who are here for Northwestern primary care, Northwestern urgent care, our outpatient lab services, our orthopedics, and our occupational health clinic would check in. As we walk down the hallway here, this is where our urgent care and our primary care offices are co-located. This has been a really great partnership because if we have patients who may not have primary care providers, having them together helps to encourage and promote that connectivity for patients who might be seeking out a primary care provider. As we continue down the hallway, we also have an area here where patients are able to access their health information and their health records as they might need to do that. That's been helpful for folks who need to obtain that information. You might notice that the seating area in our waiting room looks a little sparse. This is to encourage social distancing and to make sure that our patients remain safe and at healthy distances from each other. This area of the hospital is newly constructed. These offices were located in other areas of the hospital that you'll see as we continue our tour. Now we're into the medical clinics building, and this is where our OBGYN services are, where we're happy to provide those important services for individuals and families in our community. We also have a partnership with the University of Vermont Medical Center where we're able to provide specialty services and make sure that people in our community have access to those services as well. As you come up here, we do have an additional registration area that is currently not in use, but this is the area where folks who would be checking in for surgical services, diagnostic imaging, or other outpatient services would be checking in. Once they come in this other entrance, they would be greeted here by one of our team one of our wonderful volunteers that we would have here at this desk, where they would help direct and show people where they might be headed for their day here at Northwestern Medical Center. So at this point, we have a couple of options. There's the long main hallway that heads down this way, but I'm going to take you through a loop through the surgical services waiting area first, and we'll make sure we get back to that main hallway afterwards. So as we come through here, you can see this is our surgical services waiting area. This is where folks would be coming in to check in for their outpatient surgeries for the day. This is the area where friends and family might be waiting for them. Only one section of our building at this point is 2 stories, and that is where our family birthing center is upstairs. So I'll bring you upstairs to show you the waiting area for our family birthing center. If you want to follow me. Are the stairs okay? We're very fortunate in our community, in this small community hospital, to be able to have a family birthing center. I speak to this from my own experience. So my husband and I were fortunate to be able to welcome all 3 of our sons into the world here at Northwestern Medical Center. And here is the waiting room for the family birthing center. Again, there are some chairs that are taped off to encourage social distancing. So this is the family birthing center. On this side of the hallway, we have our labor and delivery rooms. And on the far side of the hallway, we have our postpartum rooms, as well as some pediatric rooms. It's a busy day today in the family birthing center, so this is as far as we're gonna go into here. We're back on the main floor, and if we were to take a right, we would go back to our main hallway where we started, and if we're taking a left, which is what we're going to do, we would head down in this direction. Those brown double doors down at the end are for the emergency department, which is a busy place, so we're going to skip that tour today. You can see we have a negative pressure unit for use in the emergency department if that's required. As we take a right down here, this will lead us to our progressive care unit or our inpatient beds. As we enter the progressive care unit, it's important for me to put my mask back on because we're in tighter quarters and I want to make sure that I keep my face covered while we're in this area. Please note that it's actually quiet time on the unit right now, and so we want to make sure that the lights will be low and it will be quiet. So we'll be doing a quick tour of our inpatient area. We have 34 inpatient rooms on our progressive care unit at this time. This is a newly constructed area within the hospital. We have rooms that go all the way down this first hallway. And then this is our first nurse's station. And then in the second hallway, again, the same thing. We have the same setup with rooms that go down either side. Again, it's quiet time in the PCU, so I don't want to go too much further down this area. As we head back out to the main hallway, there are some administrative offices here. And one of the offices on the left is a key one. It's where our clinical informaticists sit. Some of our clinical informaticists sit. These folks make sure that our providers are trained up on the electronic medical record and are able to chart and take care of patients in the best manner possible. So we have now gotten back to our main hallway, and we're going to cross traffic here. And I want to welcome you into my office. If you were here in person, you'd be spending a great deal of time in here. I'd offer you coffee or water, however, that's hard to give with a virtual interview. So this area and this space and myself as a resource is available as you interview, as you become onboarded into Northwestern Medical Center, and as any supports or needs come up that you may have as you start as an employee here at Northwestern Medical Center. So as we continue down the main hallway here in the hospital, there are a few other key places that I want to show you. Our lab is up here on the right, and our medical staff lounge for our physicians and APPs is over here on the left. We have a medical library here with access to books and computers. This is also where our volunteer services coordinator resides and spends her time. Server room, very, very important place, making sure that our systems all stay up and running. We have several conference rooms throughout the building to make sure that there are places for people to meet and carry on their business. This is more areas of informaticists, people who would do support for training with Meditech, our electronic medical record. This is an important area. This is our regulatory affairs office for compliance issues and concerns. This would be your key place to go. Down the rest of this hallway is also an important place. There's not many places that you won't find one. We have our human resources department. We have quality and process improvement. We have case management and social work. We have our payer credentialing and our medical staff office. So as a provider coming on, you know how important it is to get through that credentialing process so you can come on board with your medical privileges intact. And once that happens, we also work to get you enrolled with all payers. Often that process can take up to 3 months, and we work really hard to make it as seamless and supported a process as possible. Heading down this area, it's a very narrow hallway, so I put my mask back on. As we walk down here, there's a variety of rooms. There's some conference rooms where people are able to meet and carry on business as needed. Excuse us. Over here on the left, we have our IT department. This is an important area. We also have some other informaticists who support and make sure that all of our providers have the support that they need. So it's a key area and a key spot for you to definitely connect with when you're here. And again, here are our conference rooms that we have. Several rooms available. There's a lot of things going on, a busy place to be, so it's important to have these different rooms. If you were here in person, we would probably be making a lot of appointments and visits with you and other key people in these rooms. So at this time, this is our employee entrance. When you arrive here at work, you come in. You are verbally screened by one of our screeners where they ask you questions about different symptoms that you may or may not have had, and then you step up to one of these kiosks and your temperature is taken. Once you've passed those steps, then you're able to go in and start your day. So this is the outside area of our conference center entrance where the employee entrance is now located, and we're going to take our tour outside. We have this building across the street. It's called Doctor's Office Commons that Northwestern Medical Center owns. And inside this building are several outpatient practices, some of which are owned by the hospital and others are partnered with other community resources to make sure that our community members have access to the care and the resources that they need. As we come along and we're in the front of the Doctor's Office Commons building, Our first office here is a Northwestern Medical Center practice. This is our associates in surgery, our general surgeons, and as well as our urology services that are located here. So those are both Northwestern Medical Center practices. Our next tenant here, and our neighbor who we're so happy to have with us, is Notch, which is our federally qualified health center who provides primary care services for our community. As I mentioned in the other building, primary care services are in huge need here in upstate Vermont as well as in other places around the country. So we're very, very happy that they're here providing services for our community. Here we have a hematology oncology satellite clinic, which is very convenient for folks who are receiving chemotherapy and need to make sure that they have access to those services without the drive down to Chittenden County, which is about 30 miles south of us. This next office here is another partnership with University of Vermont Medical Center. They rent space here for their dialysis, which is so important for our patients here in Franklin County that need to have access. And I should mention that while we're located in Franklin County, our service area does include Grand Isle County as well. And so many of our patients and families are traveling here from Grand Isle County. Here at Doctor's Office Commons, we have two of our Northwestern Pediatric Clinics that are located in St. Albans. We have an additional clinic that's located in Enosburg, which is to the east about 20 minutes. It's about 15 miles, but depending on if you get behind a tractor or a slow driving vehicle, it might be a little bit longer. Across the parking lot, you can see Northwestern Counseling and Support Services, which provide mental health services for the community, a wonderful partner and an important resource to have who works closely with Northwestern Medical Center with supporting our patient and community needs. On this side of Doctor's Office Commons, we have our secondary entrance to our pediatric clinic, the Northwest Pediatrics team. All of those pediatricians are employed by Northwestern Medical Center. Up here on the left, we have our ENT clinic. This is also a hospital-owned and hospital-employed practice. We're very happy to have them here to provide those services, which are much needed in our community. And the last office here on the left is a community-based primary care clinic, separate from the hospital, but still helping to meet that need of making sure people have the primary care services that they so desperately need. This building is Cobblestone Health Commons, and this is where we have our physical therapy, occupational therapy, cardiac, and pulmonary rehabilitation. Patients are able to come in here and meet with the physical therapist, the athletic trainers, the occupational therapists, and do what they need to be able to get back to their best selves. As you can see here in Cobblestone, we have an open gym format where we've combined different exercises for weight resistance training, increased cardio activity, as well as our cardiac rehab area. This area was formerly upstairs in the second floor, and we moved it down here to move to this open concept. We also do our work rehabilitation. So if somebody has, say, a shoulder replacement and needs to get back to work, this is where exercises would be designed and where they would practice those to get back up to strength. So this concludes this portion of our virtual tour. Thank you so much for taking the time to get to know Northwestern Medical Center and walking around with me today. I know it's not as expected, but we're happy to connect with you in this way and try to show you the campus to the best of our ability. If there are certain areas that you wish you could have seen more of, or if you feel like we left anything out, feel free to contact me directly and I'm happy to get you that information. Thank you so much and have a great day.